Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Football Manager 2016 with Milan, and this is, well, now February. We've had the winter break and we've had a little bit of time to think about things, get the tactic going, and maybe even make a couple more signings. So, as you can see, 6th February. In case you're unaware, the Italian league, like many other European leagues, does in fact have a winter break. I think it's a period of about 2 or 3 weeks over Christmas and the New Year, and then from about the first to second week of January, the season restarts. So, as you know, we lost in the Italian Cup last time. I'll just go over. This is how we've done. So, we played Juventus, lost in the Italian Cup. That was a bit of a shame. Never mind. We got a hard tie. Shit happens. Then we played Juventus again, and this one was a little bit more disparaging because with this one, at least, I played a slightly lesser team. You know, I played Calabria, who's only 19. I played Donnarumma here, who, having now played this for a week or so, I actually realise is just as FM says he is here. I thought, oh, that's a bit weird. You know, maybe he's a bit overpowered. Maybe the Milan researcher is a bit generous, shall we say. No, this guy's the real deal. I only found out he has a brother who plays for Paris Saint-Germain, I think. Although I don't think he's nowhere near as good as this guy. But as far as I can tell, this guy is going to be up there in a few years' time. I'm not being funny. His reputation already, obviously this is only relevant to Milan, but his reputation already is very, very close to Lopez. In fact, it might even be level with Lopez. He's only 16. He looks amazing, and apparently they've already started calling him the new Buffon and everything. So at 16 years old, that is astonishing. So I actually never realised until, as I say, I started reading up about this guy, just how, this is the dream, to have a goalkeeper who could potentially play for you for 20 years. I mean, he could still technically be playing for us in the mid-2030s. He could even break Paolo Maldini's all-time record of appearances. So, just a little side note on that. But this was the one, it really didn't impress me. We weren't particularly great. But I've gone away, and as you can see, we've done really well. We've had 5 wins out of 6. We've unfortunately lost to Udinese, but we'll get onto that in a second. First game here was against Carpi, who, of course, were promoted from Serie B last season, and Juraj Kuka scored the winner for us here. I made a promise to him that he would play a few more games, and to be honest, he's not great. I'm going to try and maybe sell him at the end of the season in the summer. But again, Abate, who's been absolutely unbelievable, he is just fantastic, and he's got the winner for us here, but he's not really done anything ever since. So, and then 3-1 against Bologna, Romagnoli scoring, and Menez, who is now completely back in this team and is an absolute beast. I've decided to play him. If you look here, let me just check the formations. One thing I started to notice was that Menez was actually a better general goal scorer than Balotelli. I don't know why, but Balotelli hasn't been very good for me. I've heard a few people say he's been pretty good. You know, he traditionally is quite good on Football Manager, but Menez has just been outclassed him virtually in every way. So, as you can see here, Destro scored for Bologna, and it took us to the 80th minute to find an equaliser. I was panicking, thinking this is not going to be our day. We're going to be screwed here. And we got an absolute massive chunk of luck here from one of their players, for Menez, to head in there from about 6 yards out. And then 87th minute, the pressure was just too much for Bologna, I think. And the Siglio to Menez, it's all about that wide play, let me tell you. Full-backs overlapping, and then Romagnoli finished it off here. I was panicking because anytime you get a corner in the sort of the 90th minute or so, there's always a frigging breakaway, but thankfully Romagnoli hit with the header this time. And then we had Sassuolo once again. Again, I'm probably butchering that name, but there you go. A little bit of revenge for holding us to a 1-1 draw in the first game. 1-0, Menez again in the 21st minute, and they had Alfred Duncan sent off. There's no way he's Italian. No way. Not with that name. Menez is absolutely on fire at this point. I can't remember how many he was on. I think he's got about 7 or 8 goals this season. A lovely finish. Once again, Abate with the assist. He is so good at getting down that flank there. And unfortunately, we lost to Udinese. This sort of brought us back down to earth a little bit. Zapata. I was kind of happy with a 0-0 because this was a really hard-fought game. As you can see, no one was particularly bad. Zapata maybe, De Silva could have done a little bit more. Again, Abate, he's never had a bad game, I don't think. The subs just didn't make a difference here. The main signing I've brought in, I should point out, has been Adrian Ramos. So I'm hopefully in the future going to partner with Bacca to Colombians. Now I know chemistry is not really a thing. I mean, it sort of is on Football Manager, but obviously FIFA has put the buzzword chemistry into minds of football fans everywhere, and now it's a bigger I think it's been made to be a bigger thing than what it actually is. But Ramos here, I signed him from Dortmund for just £2.5 million. I thought, why not? Let's give him a go. He's actually very good. I'll probably try and sell him on for a profit, but I'll see. But he was worth a go, especially when Balotelli is going to be leaving, because I'm not going to be signing him. Liverpool can have him back. I'm not interested. And Torres will be coming back in, but I don't know how long he's got left. So I figured, he might be worth a shout maybe, but he's not been particularly great so far. And I don't know if he was a step up or maybe even now he's a step down from Luis Adriano. So Atalanta 2-0. This was the next game, so he bounced back quite nicely here. Romagnoli once again scoring, and Toloi here with an own goal in the 90th minute. Balotelli again not giving a particularly great performance, but here's the goal. Nearly a goal for Zapata, but Romagnoli, good job he was on hand to put that one in. I'm not sure if that went over the line, but it doesn't look like, well, it didn't go over the line because they came able to give it as a goal. And lastly here, Menez once again returning to goal scoring form with the winner against Verona. So here's the goal. I haven't had too much success in this white away kit, but there you go. And lovely there, as you can see, Ramos maybe could have got on the end of that. Nearly, in fact. I don't know if he would have been offside. He's technically behind the goal line if he's not active on the pitch, if that had hit him there. But yeah, it was 1-0. Let's see, did he play? As you can see, 6.7, he hasn't been great, so I'll just show you that, make sure who've brought in. Yeah, it's just Ramos. I've also sent Niang on loan to Saint Etienne and Rodrigo Ilai to Verona. I think he did he play against us there? I don't think he can. I don't think there was a clause in the contract that said he could. So the next game here is against Lazio, who are title chasing. They were a while ago anyway, a short while ago, top of the league. They've since sort of fallen away. Juventus have once again climbed back up to the top, as you can see, and they are just fantastic. They are so good. Just one loss so far, and that was against Lazio, which is concerning. But we're right in it. We're only 9 points behind them, and that's not a lot, really. I mean, it could be better, but at the same time, there's no reason to think that we're only supposed to be getting the Europa League this season, but we're not a million miles away from the title. So. And if we do win here, we go within a point of Lazio, who are currently in that third and final Champions League spot, and also would go ahead of Roma. And obviously, Inter have played the game more than us, so we would in fact go 1 point behind them. With, I think the derby it's near the end, in fact, so we'll probably have one more live commentary before that Inter game. I think we'll maybe do Palermo or someone, I don't know, someone a little bit later on. Yeah, it's all very tight, very congested. You can see, look at Fiorentina in 7th. Udinese just a little bit behind us. So, I mean, if we had beaten Udinese there, if they hadn't have won, that would have been a really nice little gap there. So, a bit annoying about that Udinese win for them, but hey, there you go. That's football. One slightly annoying thing here is the goal scorers. Now, they've got Kandreva, who has been fantastic this season, and they've also got, I had no idea, Miroslav Klose, 37-year-old Miroslav Klose, two of the top 3 there in the goal scorers. You've got Mandzukic up there. Massimo Macaroni, Middlesbrough fans. Do you remember this guy? Absolutely unbelievable player. Then Carlos Bacca, who unfortunately has been injured. I'm not sure if I showed you this in the last video or not, but as you can see, he was out for a short while. No, actually no, he got injured on New Year's Day and has been out for a month, so he is just coming back from injury now. So he played in the reserves earlier today, so he's obviously not going to be available for this game. So we'll have to see. Now, as you can see, Nigel de Jong also very despairingly has 10 yellow cards this season so far. So that's where you get that's what happens in that row. I always joke about how Lucas Leiva is a walking yellow card, and I'm sure Chelsea fans might sometimes say the same about Matic. Arsenal fans will say the same. If not, they will at some point, or at least a defensive midfielder. So this Arsenal say the same about Coquelin. As I say, they will at some point, because you are just a walking yellow card in that position. That your idea is to break up. Your main role is to break up any opposition attack, and occasionally that is going to mean a yellow card for you. So shit happens. This is the team here then. So we've got Abate, Zapata, Romagnoli, De Siglio, De Jong, Poli is now back from injury, Bertolacci, Bonaventura, Honda, and Menez will continue as that complete forward. Mario Balotelli is not in particularly great form. He's got 4 goals, which isn't too bad, but he is at times terrifyingly ineffective, just as he was with Liverpool. I think they've done a very good job of replicating the Balotelli of last season so far on this game. Torres, as you can see, is out on loan, scored 6 goals, not bad. I will try and use him because I still kind of say, as I said the other day, still kind of do like Fernando Torres. Niang's on loan, and Ramos is not in great form, and Niang is, Baka isn't eligible because he played in the reserve game earlier today because I need his fitness back. So, yeah, I think that's everything then. Let's get into it. So, Lazio at home. Could be interesting. Who have they got up top? They've got Closer. There's Candreva out on the right. Stefan the Fridge, or as I call him, Stephen the Fridge. And yeah, I think that's it. Let's get into the game then. So this could be quite tight and tense. Now, I think I've finally settled with this tactic. Now, this is something that I feel can or will work over a longer period. It's still not perfect, I'm fully aware, but I'm at least a bit more confident with it. I'm far more confident with this tactic than I ever was with anything I had at Fulham. It was not a great tactic because, to be frank, I didn't know what I was doing with Fulham. I was still getting used to the game. Now that the full game's out and I've actually, given this a real playthrough, I've actually sat down, played it properly. The Fulham game, I kind of just whizzed through it. I admit I may have even instant resulted a few games. Just to get videos out there. I was probably rushing to get videos out. With this, I've certainly taken my time. I've not instant resulted any games. So, and also, it helps obviously that I know these players. I know almost all of these players. But even then, they're so good that you will get to know them. People I've never heard, I don't watch much Italian football, to be honest. I used to, many years ago, I used to watch... what was that? I think it was just Italian football on Channel 5, maybe 10 years ago. Anyone in the UK might remember that. I can't remember what the show was called, but yeah, Channel 5 used to show every Saturday morning highlights of the Italian football, and that's when I first sort of realised, actually, you know what, there really is more to football than the Premier League, as Parola goes close there. And I've never really watched much other than perhaps a bit of German football, but the most, in terms of other non-English football leagues I've watched, has been Italian football, strangely enough. I had a big likeness with Juventus about 10 years ago as well. I don't know why. I don't know. I remember someone I knew came back from Italy once. They went to Turin or Rome or somewhere. They came back and they bought me a Juventus shirt. And they're like, you like football? Here's a Juventus shirt. It was black. It was completely fake because I could tell from the material. It had Del Piero 10 on the back. Anyway, I'm waffling because that was a dreadful half of football. Let's go a bit controlled then. So we didn't really do much, to be honest. But no one has... I say Menez. Look, Menez has been good for the most part, okay? I know he hasn't been today, but if I bring Balotelli on and he scores a hat-trick in the second half, then I'm going to look like a right fool. So I'm not going to do that because I think even then Balotelli will be a step down from a 6.3 Menez. So... I'm just trying to... I think control will be fine. So this is the instructions I have at the moment. I'm still tweaking this game by game. I'm going to try and go a bit more wider. I'm not going to go fully wide. I'm just going to go fairly wide. So play out of defence, but also looking for the overlap, retaining possession, being expressive, slightly deeper. This is something that I feel... I'm only coming from an assumption from this. So this obviously isn't going to apply to everyone. But if you're in the Italian league, you need to be a lot more defensive-minded, which is completely alien to me. If you've watched my Football Manager series in the past, you know that I like full throttle, heavy metal football, to quote Jurgen Klopp. I like this, the destroy teams, go out there, not with this formation almost. If I click OK, I've talked previously, I love this type of formation. Perhaps I wouldn't have Nigel de Jong now, I might have another midfielder there. I might even be completely mad and just stick an attacking midfield in there so it's completely unbalanced. But who needs balance when you can just outscore the opposition? Take the Brendan Rodgers approach when we had SAS, But here we go. Second half. Let's hope there's a couple of highlights here that really were not worth anything. So A draw here wouldn't be the end of the world, but I do think we need to beat one of these teams because we didn't beat Inter, we didn't beat Juve. Chance here for, I thought it was maybe going ahead of Romagnoli, but here's another chance for Bertolacci, De Jong. I'm going backwards. So here's Bonaventura, he's got to put the ball in the box. Bertolacci here just strikes it. Oh, God. Many times are we going to see this? Just players smashing the ball into other players. It's like, there's so many other options on. No, I'm going to smash the ball at this player who is about 2 inches in front of me, because I'm clearly going to beat him. Anyway, we're looking a bit more impressive now this half. At least we're getting on the front foot and we're actually attacking. I do notice that Bertolacci and Bonaventura as well, they do have a tendency to shoot. I probably should there change. There's Closer. God's sake. Right, he is just a machine. Miroslav Klose, an absolute machine. These two, in fact, I'm going to do it now, in fact, because I need to make this permanent, but I keep forgetting. Let's see, is it Bertolacci? Yep. He needs to be shoot less often. If you are Milan, I would also suggest this, and Bonaventura as well. They do have a tendency to shoot in the most ridiculous areas, as you just saw, in fact. You know, it's like they'll just be not in a position at all to shoot. And there he is, right on cue. Oh no, it's not. It's an own goal from Patrick or Patrice. I don't know how you say that. But well, that was handy. Minor tweak of the tactics and it's worked. Okay, so Menez has not been particularly great. So what I am going to do is I'm going to move him there to the inside forward where he has also found success this season. I'm going to bring on Balotelli. Now, I want to preface this with he has been rubbish for me this season, but I'm going to give him a chance here to rectify his season so far. 4 goals, not particularly great. Give me something, Mario. You've got to give me something here. And we're just going to rush all the way through to the 83rd minute. My God. Okay, we're going to make another change here. Well, we're going to make 2 changes, in fact. Yeah, I'm going to bring Menez off. He's done nothing. Let's bring on Alvarez. And we are going to also bring on... Let's see. I don't like the fact that De Jong is aggressive and he hasn't... What do I take him off? I'm going to gamble. I'm going to gamble and I'm going to bring on Ramos. Now, I've not played Ramos in a front 2, so I'm going to change the formation slightly here. Don't be ridiculous. I'm not going to go with that front 2 because that is horribly imbalanced. Move that there. And then Alvarez can play as a winger. Ramos works mostly best as a target man, I find. A defensive forward, I don't see the point in a defensive forward, to be truly honest with you. Certainly in this team. So we're just going to go basic 4-4-2 with Ramos and Balotelli up front. 2 players. This is not going to end well. In fact, we are going to also change... sorry, wrong one. I've clicked on the wrong one there. Whoops. Go to... Here we go. Yeah, let's go route 1. I'm just going to... No, actually, we're going to go direct passing because we've got 2 big... Okay, this is just going to run all the way through, isn't it? Wow, that was I'm sorry, but that was a dreadful game. That was a truly awful game. I'm so sorry I had to watch that. I thought, here we go, 5th versus, well, now 2nd. This will be a great game. No, there was like no highlights. Awful. I'm sorry about that, but that's Football Manager for you. An own goal, but not bad, I suppose. Dropping points. What? Whoa. Screw you. Giuseppe Sala. I don't think we did too bad there. I mean, 4 points off, second place Lazio is not the end of the world. That's pretty good, I think. And with 8 points, well, I know they've got a game in hand, but 8 points off the top. The main target this season is to get back into Europe, get into 4th or 5th, and yeah, even if Udinese win here, we're still going to be ahead of them on goal difference. It's like it opens the gate for Roma. I mean, not at all. Where did you get that idea from? We're still going to be within reach of them. It's not as if we're 6 points behind them, they get another 9 points, and that's then really, really hard. Come on, give me a break. Right, next game then. Well, we're going to be playing Sampdoria next. That's going to be off camera, so to speak. And I will probably join you then for... what's a good one? I reckon one of these ones here, sort of in the middle to start of March, maybe. Like someone like Kivo or Roma. I think that might be a good one, Roma. or Palermo, someone like that, because obviously we're gonna have to do another double commentary with Inter and Juventus. I mean, they're huge games. Or in fact, we might just do Inter, and then we'll have the final game against Bologna, and we'll weigh up the situation, see what's happening. I mean, we might be in the title race at that point. I don't know. We're not officially in it yet. We're just on the outskirts. So I'm going to keep going with this. Not too bad. Just one win just one defeat since the winter break. I would call that progress, considering how poor. Well, we're not poor, but considering we had quite a few before the winter break. So I think that's not too bad at all. So thank you very much for watching. If you are enjoying the series, please do give the video a like, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.